I'm Jeremiah Boucher, a commercial real estate investor with over 20 years experience. This show is designed to help you build your business, become a better real estate investor, and help you see opportunities that will keep you ahead of the competition. This is Finding Your Edge.
What I think about from all what you said was the opportunities that come, you need to be prepared. So I remember like I would work out and people would always say, you know, what are you training for? You know, because I wasn't, you know, there was nothing to be training for maybe what they were thinking. And maybe I thought that too. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not doing a show. I'm not, I'm going on a marathon. There's no race here. But, I thought about, I was like, if I don't work out or eat right or sleep well or, XYZ, whatever it is, if I don't do that, I'm not going to have a great chance of getting that opportunity of wherever it might be. So I know I'm not good enough. Personally, I'm not good enough. I was always a hard worker, but I was never the best at sales. I was always in the top 5 because I would bang out more calls, right? I'm not good enough to not do all the things I need to do, the eating right, to sleeping well, to making sure I'm working out, doing all those things. Because if I don't, and I miss that opportunity, that's on me. You get what you earn. And I do not want to live with that, knowing that I had that opportunity, but maybe I slept through it. Or I was a little hungover. That's very painful. And yeah, I do I do like to have some fun every once in a while. But I know, hey, that's your choice because there was potentially an opportunity for you to get better or for you to be somebody or talk to somebody. And if you didn't have it that day, you might have missed out on something. So those are the things that are in my mind when I'm thinking about what you were just saying.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Like one thing, it's how quickly can you get back on track?
Yeah.
That was the theme of the habits, the atomic habits.
That's great. Right? I like that. That's really good.
Yeah. It's not about living this ultra disciplined, stoic life. I mean, you're always going to fuck up. Yeah. That's just part of modern life and having a social life. But yeah, I think it's interesting to think about, and it's something that I'm glad we explore. Because I don't think that's talked about either in terms of what am I training for? I had the same process. I'm training to be my best, period, in all areas of my life. I want to look good, feel good. I want to be young. I want to make a lot of money. I want to have a beautiful relationship. I want to fucking be alive a long time. So that's why I'm putting the effort in, like I'm doing a bodybuilding show or I'm doing I got a big game on Sunday, right? Because it's that important to me that I'm going to train that hard and apply this to my life. And it means that much.
No doubt.
You better treat your body that way.
No doubt.
But yeah, man, it's crazy to think that. And it goes into, I think the last thing, so we can wrap it up is, so I went to Genius Network. It's this mastermind group that Joe Polish runs. This guy's a great guy in terms of teaches marketing, teaches how to connect with people, has some great members in this group. And they had 2 speakers. One was on the science of flow. I don't know the guy's name right now, but he's an understudy of the guy that wrote the book Flow, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. And that was just fascinating to think about, how productive, how not only productive, but how powerful the state of flow is, and that it is a state of the mind, of letting go, a form of meditation and a form of complete, not detachment, but, it's hard to articulate, but finding ways to get back into that place more often. I forgot about how important flow was. And I don't know. I listened to the guy speak. I wrote some notes on it. And it really is about what do I have to do in my routine that puts me back in that state or gives me the highest probability to get in that state. And I think it has to do with every area of our life when we always break it down into health, wealth, and relationships. So what can I do with my health, right? I mean, with not only the sleep, and it's crazy because sometimes you get 5 hours of sleep and you're like, I shouldn't feel this great, but I feel fucking amazing. So you can't, or sometimes I ate a big ass cake, the night before, last night, a ton of ice cream, homemade ice cream from this Mediterranean place in LA. And I feel amazing today. I'm on point. So it's like, there's not always this correlation, but what is it? Try to find these common themes. And then in our relationships, protecting ourselves from a bunch of chaos and then from our wealth in terms of setting ourselves up. But anyway, it's like setting the stage to be in flow. And a part of that is having that awareness of what do we love? What do we want to do to be in flow? Like personally. And then secondly, how do we set the environment and set the stage to get into that state? And we might not always get there, but yeah, it's something to think about.
Oh, it's so addicting too. If you can get there, nothing's better. I mean, I think for me, and I'm sure for you, I reach a lot of it through when I'm working out or I'm going for that walk and I'm listening, and sometimes it's not listening to something. It's just like me,
right?
Just, one of the things I was thinking about was that, and we can wrap up here, but one of the things I was thinking about was like, I'm always going through a tougher time when I'm not talking to myself and I'm just thinking. Like, I sometimes need to talk to myself and hit myself with the positives, like, and really just rep them, right? And what that is for me is just gratefulness, right? And I think that's, goes back to one of the things you said was, I'm sure this helps you get to your flow, is that 4x4 rule that you live by, right? You wake up 4 minutes or 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of gratitude, 5 minutes of visualizing the day. And what was the last one? But I like those three.
Yeah. No, yeah. 4 minutes of each.
Okay, 4 minutes of each. And so those are really good ways of, like, for people listening, like, well, how do I get into it? Well, those are really nice ways. A walk, talking, maybe some affirmations to yourself, gratefulness about who you are, why you're happy to be here, the opportunities we have, and then maybe a little bit about, hey, what does my day look like today? And how can I attack it? And if you do those things, you're not going to feel grinding, right? Because there's flow and then grinding. And if you can get more to that flow side, it's because you're more prepared and you prepare yourself through those things. So yeah, I mean, that's been a really nice little change of pace for me after I saw your video on that. So I thought that was great.
Yeah, I'm glad you say it, because sometimes you don't practice what you preach. No. I do it and then I get off it and I do it. And that first 4 minutes is just breathing. That's just the basic Wim Hof, deep breathing and then holding your breath and doing some different breathing exercises. But it truly works. It primes you up to get the mind going. Oxygen is by far the most valuable commodity or resource that we need. So yeah, I'm all with you, and we should probably put that in the show notes, that 4x4 again. Final point, the last guest that was at the Phoenix, Genius, was this guy named Akshay, and I don't know his last name. He wrote a book called Fearvana. He's an ex-Marine, probably similar to a descendant of like a David Goggins style, where this guy looks like you and me in terms of, physical stature, Indian background, but he's American kid, lost a good buddy in battle in Afghanistan, had survivor's guilt, had a full-on alcoholic addiction, had a drug addiction, had suicidal tendencies, true trauma around the whole deal. And he turned it around. The guy's a sharp guy. He articulated it really well. He wrote a book called Fearvana. I was quite impressed by it. But what I was impressed by is this guy, some of the physical feats that this guy, he took this pain and suffering and he channeled it into these physical feats of, then right now he's going to attempt to be the first man to cross on foot the Antarctic with a 400-pound sled, or any type of actual on foot, over 110 days out there on the fucking wilderness on his own, man, just trudging with a satellite phone and just his own thoughts. And he's going to be in negative 70 degree weather consistently. And this guy is not different. It's not like you're looking at Goggins, who, you're like, maybe, this guy's a freak. I mean, this guy's a freak, obviously, but he is a very normal type dude. And it's just fascinating when you start to look at this guy. So I'm reading his book, Fearvana, and I'm going to support his journey. I'm giving $5,000 to his journey. I want him to make, I want him to win. I mean, he could die. This could be it. I mean, it's a very, very risky situation.
And that puts in perspective, like, I woke up at 3:30 this morning to get a flight home and, still worked. And, now we're doing this, and I'm like, I was like pounding my chest. I was like, who's doing this? And it's like, God, there's levels to this. You got it made, dude. So just shut up. So yeah, God bless that guy. I will follow that journey as well. That's freaking awesome. Glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. I hope everyone on here takes a look at it. This fucking guy lost his finger, dude. He had to get his finger cut off. He's been practicing up in Norway. Yeah, he fucking got frostbite. They cut his middle finger, like half of it's gone. So I got to talk to him.
This doesn't sound like it's great. I don't love. I mean, I'm worried about him, but at the same time, if this is what they need to do to, because it's like, hey, you don't want to see me the other way. This is what I got to do to get it done. It's like, fair enough.
Yeah, and I listen to it if you get a chance, because I didn't explain it well. I just talked about the negative side of what he went through and then now what he's doing to overcome it. But it's the relationship with fear. I mean, this is what really resonated with me. I mean, because I put myself in a couple dicey situations where I was like, ooh, like it got really real, with climbing some rocks and things and just really difficult challenges physically. And this guy took it to another level, as a lot of new people are. And then the mental belief system now is just continuing to push, right? Where, Goggins talked about 10 years ago, nobody was doing an ultra marathon. Now, these things are jammed.
Right.
So the human consciousness is expanding and evolving, and we're pushing ourselves physically that we've never even gotten close to in humanity that we know of. So what this guy talks about is, in these situations where, I traditionally would have panicked, where, you're running 50 miles in a row or 24 hours straight and you feel like you break in half and you panic. But having this relationship with fear, in the cold or in this contentious environment, and not reacting and being able to be present with it and let it be, and allowing this dance to evolve and just taking one more step. I think there's places we have no idea where we can take the human mind and the soul and spirit, and this guy's doing it. So I want to follow this, and it inspires me to do something like that's going to push my mind through some type of suffering or some type of physical expression of myself. So I don't know where that's going to go, but just his presence and just the content that he's sharing. And, I'm sure he'll be on this show. Like, we'll do it when he gets back.
That'd be sick.
And yeah, we're going to talk about him, and we'll leave his website on here. And if you could support him, this guy's, he'll inspire you to do something special for yourself, because everybody needs to push the limit. I shared in this seminar, I said, I read Way of the Superior Man by David Data, and it really allowed me to understand what is the purpose of being a man and that masculine energy. And it's not about the satisfaction of achievement. It's not about the dopamine hit itself. It's not about, getting the trophy, getting the touchdown. It's about getting to the edge of breaking through and breaking through. It's the anticipation. It's that craving for more, to fight through this, fight through the tackle, fight through the obstacle, right? Fight through barely missing payroll, fight through the challenge where you had to elevate yourself and figure out a new solution, and you transform yourself, where you're right on the edge of this death, of this, this risk, this fear. This is what the masculine, I don't know if it's survival or if it's spiritual or what it is, but this is what we crave. This is what every guy I notice in Tiger 21, when they sell their business or they have every little aspect of their life handled and taken care of, they're dead. They have no inspiration. They're not exciting. They don't have that energy. They're not even fun to be around in the room. The young guy that might not have shit, but he's pushing the limits of who he is in every area of his life. It's attractive as a man, because they're living this primal hunter force that we have, right? To just go to this next level. And this is why we want to try these different things and push ourselves.
That's why I left my job to do this, is because I wanted to be a caveman, like David Goggins was talking about. I was so tired of just, that every 2 weeks, freaking transfusion of cash into your account, and you become lazy, and I didn't want that life. And do I miss it sometimes? Sure. Who doesn't miss it a little bit? But I'm so happy that I'm going down this path, because I'm becoming someone way better than I would have been, and I know that it's who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do, and it's the journey, and we love the journey. It is what it is.
It is, man. It's the pure Tony Robbins quote: "The quality of our lives are determined by the amount of uncertainty we can handle with certainty."
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To some degree. So, and I think that's probably why the hell we ventured off of the shoreline and had to get across from, to the China to the Polynesian islands. I mean, these fucking guys, took a risk and went out there on a little canoe board out of a tree, and they made it, thousands, tens of thousands of miles.
Yeah. It's in our DNA, right? It's in our DNA.
It is.
It's in our DNA.
All right. Well, let's keep pushing our DNA.
All right. I love it. And that's,
I get some rest, man.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm shot after this.
Yeah.
No, I can keep going.
Good.
Fuck it. Let's go.
No. Now we go live it.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, man.
All right. Great show, guys.
Have a good week.
See ya.
For more information on commercial real estate investing, go to patriotholdings.com. Thanks for listening to Finding Your Edge.